As we know, laughter is contagious. And so what I'd like to say, though, is that leadership is also contagious. But before I begin, I want to point out three numbers that I'm going to come back to: 33, 40, and 100. Don't forget those, but also pay attention to everything else that I'm saying. So, leadership is contagious. We know this. When we see other people step up, when we see other people doing things, we are motivated to step up as well. And in fact, that's one of the reasons why we wanted to gather today. Because by seeing and learning and hearing from these people, these honorees, we know that more people will be inspired and will want to move forward. Now, the moment in time in which we are living today is not simple, right? If we think about what has happened over the past several years, months, we had October 7th, hostages being taken, the war in Gaza, we had the rise of anti-Semitism in the United States and around the world, some ways that were kind of predictable, in some ways that probably surprised most of us in the room. There are changes in this country, sometimes knowing what might happen or not happen day to day, and the world just is a little bit less clear. For many of us, the earth that we are walking on, the land, the steps that we try to take every single day just seem a little bit less certain, a little bit more wobbly. And that really is the challenge that we have today. Now, that uncertainty is coming out in a few ways. Now, there are a lot of different statistics out there, but one of them that I wanted to point out is the first number that we have, 33%. 1/3 of all adults in the United States report that they are lonely at least once a week. 1/3 of the population is lonely at least once a week. And that's within a context of so much change and so much uncertainty. But I want to point out the second number, which is the 40%. Since October 7th, there's been a 40% rise in the number of people, the number of unengaged Jews who want to participate in Jewish life. This surge we see in a wide variety of ways. We saw it with 300,000 people coming to the National Mall in November 2023, the largest American Jewish gathering in our history. We've seen this on college campuses, where and we have many Hillel directors here, where many people have shown up and wanted to be part of Jewish life. We've seen this at One Table, an organization that helps organize Shabbat dinners for people, where they've had a doubling of participants since October 7th. In many ways, people are trying to connect. They're looking for meaning, they're looking for purpose, and they're looking for community. And most importantly for us, they're looking for it within the Jewish community. They're looking to find a place that can help every one of us answer those questions that we may be struggling with in the world in which we live: the loneliness, the isolation, the uncertainty. And so while there's been a surge in engagement, what I'd like to suggest is that we actually need a surge in leadership. What we need is for more people to recognize what we need to do and where we need to go. But let me tell you three stories about how the world has changed in the role of leadership for a second. So first of all, many of us have been involved with the response and efforts to get the hostages released. Now, we may have gone to events, we've seen other activities, and for many of us, we've seen the tables set week after week, the Shabbat table set for every hostage that's still being kept by Hamas. Now, those tables don't just appear on their own. Every one of those tables, every chair, every plate, every napkin, every set of flowers, every picture of every remaining hostage is put there by a person who said, I will step up and do something and make a difference. Similarly, on the college campuses, the surge in engagement did not just occur and the response was not independent. People needed to be there to develop programs, to bring people in, to create community and a place for people to go to. And same thing with those one table Shabbat dinners. Someone hosted those dinners. Someone said, I will be a place where community can be created on a Friday night for people who are looking for others. And this brings me to my next point. Leadership is not just contagious, it's collective. It is about people doing things and making a difference. Now, it doesn't mean that you actually have to go in and launch some big new efforts. Leadership is not about standing up or creating something new or dramatically changing the world. It's also about doing one thing at a time. It could be something small on your own. It could be bringing another person together with you. But it's the idea that you can make a difference in someone's life, that you can make a difference in the world as it exists today and make it different in the future. And so the question that I have, and the question that we all must face, is will we be able to meet the needs of the community, of the people out there? Will we be there when they come looking? Will we be there when people are looking to create connection and community? Will we be there for ourselves and for each other in these challenging times in which we live? And so with that, I want to note, and if you think about the honorees, I can guarantee you every single one of them would have said that their leadership was not just on their own, that their leadership was something that they did with others, and that others were critical to their success. Right? There may be people that they worked with who they knew very well, and other people who they barely knew who were part of that effort. But together, working with others, people were able to collectively make a difference and move this community forward in ways large and ways small. And that really is critical to what we are doing. When done right, leadership is a group project. Some people may have heard of this, I guess it used to be called the great man theory of leadership, or these days be the great person theory of leadership. I think that that is a completely false idea. Leadership is about each one of us making a difference and bringing other people and inspiring others to make a difference as we go forward. And it doesn't matter if we all agree. In fact, I would suggest it is better if we don't all agree. One of our greatest traditions in Judaism is that there's a debate. We may not all have the exact same vision. We may not all have the exact same ideas, but every one of our voices is critical for shaping our future. And so working with others and moving it forward is going to be vital as we go forward. Particularly this evening, I'd like to thank the 7 honorees for really being willing to be honored, which was really kind of probably half of the battle, to convince them, please do this for the community. And so I'd like to thank you for that. I'd also like to thank the Federation staff who've worked tirelessly on this event. Particularly, and I know I shouldn't point out a couple of people, but particularly Jessica Warren and Ari Brickman. And I'd like to thank all of you for what you've done. And I know many of you and what you've already done for this community. In a few weeks, we're going to be coming together as families, as communities, to celebrate Pesach, Passover. Now, we know the story of Passover. Israelites escaping Egypt, and suddenly we hit the Red Sea, the Sea of Reeds. What do? And now up until this point, God has been the one leading the charge, making sure that Pharaoh enabled us to leave, obviously with Moses and pushing that forward. But at this point in time, there's a switch. And God basically says to the Israelites, I need someone from within your community to step up and to lead. And for people who know, someone named Nachshon ben Aminadav steps up and starts walking into the water, step by step by step, until the water reaches up to his nose. And only then do the waters part and can the Israelites go through. One person making a world of difference. Which brings us to my third number, 100%. 100% of you have led already. I can guarantee it. Regardless of age, regardless of background, regardless of role, you have led and you have changed other people's lives. At this moment in time, what I'm asking you is to not only to continue your leadership, but to double down. Our world, our Jewish community needs every single person in this room to make sure that we can not only get through these critical challenges, but thrive as we get to the other side, to a stronger, better Jewish community and world in which we live. Thank you.